You use fibers as a central storage place for your inputs. You do your sense making. You do different types of, say, outputs of this work, insights, summaries, trend descriptions. But one thing that I know of your work is that you also share some of your outputs to externals, right? So it's not just about your internal work. You have your Foresight playbooks. You do something that I think you call technology vectors and so on. Now, how does this work with your Foresight actually tie into those external outputs that you do?
So we were talking before about the collecting the insights, but then how do you actually get the meaningful pieces that help catalyze action or help create something new? And one of the things that I firmly believe is that people are already doing futures work. They're already doing foresight work as a natural part of being human. And what strategic foresight does is bring structure to that and brings explicit processes to that so people can do it as a group in a way that helps them create a communal understanding or communal visions for what the future might look like. And one of the things that we've done is codify a set of foresight frameworks, foresight theory, into a playbook and into canvases and processes that let people take the insights, let people take the inputs and take a structured approach to interpretation, to understanding implications, to visioning what the future might look like, to create and apply these insights about the future to the work that they do. And so that's what the playbook really is about, is helping people put structure around how they think about the future and how they interpret the implications that might come. And so one of the things that we do is we take the research, we take the scanning that is collated, collected, and curated in fibers, and then people can access that as a way to feed into the workshops that might be doing. The other aspect that is, while some people have a responsibility for looking to and understanding what the future might look like, not everyone is. Not everyone in the business has the time. Not everyone in the business can invest in what is necessary to keep an eye on what's changing, to understand what's changing, to tag everything. So foresight then becomes a resource for the people who might need to access the insights, but might not necessarily contribute to building them themselves or contribute to it themselves. And then foresight for them becomes a database and a trend library that they can access, pull out what they might need to use for where they might need it. And that might be for understanding what might change for a water utility in terms of client needs over 50 years. How might client needs change how the community understands, perceives, and interacts with the water utility is one example. So they can take the curated insights that comes from across the business and apply it to the workshop that they might be running with the client to inform the design of a new plant. They can use it to help open up the scope or the range of things that might need to be considered, because they've got access to a broader set of insights beyond what their industry papers might be doing or beyond what might be currently known. So what the playbook fundamentally does is it lets them take a curated set of insights and then find their own implications, interpretations, and understanding of what that might mean for either what they're designing or what kind of new service might emerge or what kind of new product might be required. And that's how we use the playbook, is to really help anyone who is doing this kind of work find a structured way to use these insights about the future, and to provide structure about how they're thinking about it themselves.
So I suppose is fair to say that even if anyone using those insights will ultimately need to do their own interpretation, ultimately that final sense making on how to really act upon that, it's just that what you can offer and what you've got there is something that is in between the raw signals and the final decision making, but you've just enriched, you've just taken all the insights, all the understanding that you can say summarize and then give that out to those that actually need those insights for their decision making.
And part of it is the role that we play as enablers within the business. So we're helping them have the inputs, the tools, and the processes to enable them to make what they already do be more structured and more methodological in what the outputs they then produce. So that's a big part of it, is what we're trying to do as part of the centralized innovation team, is make sure that the business is equipped with the right set of trends or with the right set of processes to understand the implications, so that we can democratize innovation, so that we can democratize foresight across the business.